Our democracy is worth saving.
We will keep fighting for it.
Donald Trump, twice impeached
and responsible for inciting an insurrection when he lost in 2020,
was declared the president-elect following the 2024 election.
Although he is disqualified to hold this office
under the Constitution's insurrectionist disqualification clause, he was permitted to stay on the ballot by a corrupt and broken Supreme Court.
Trump and Harris raised a combined $2.7 billion, with more than $1 billion coming from super PACs
and other sources outside of their official campaigns. For all federal elections, outside expenditures exceeded $4.5 billion,
shattering previous records set in 2020.
Following Trump's repeated threats against the free press,
Billionaire-owned newspapers refused to endorse a candidate over the opposition of staff.
Social media platforms are flooded with disinformation,
leaving our access to the words of others,
whether they be friends, journalists, or anyone else,
subject to the whims of algorithms designed to maximize profit over truth.
Trump currently faces multiple federal criminal charges for interfering with the 2020 election
and stealing classified documents, but is unlikely to become prosecuted while he holds office.
All while the Supreme Court and lower courts across the country render decisions eroding voting rights
and anti-corruption laws.
Big money in politics does not and cannot coexist with political equality.
Free speech should not be a zero-sum game.
But in the hands of oligarchs and the politicians, that is what it has become.
Money has been given the status of speech, and corporations the status of people.
Powerful voices are targeting marginalized and vulnerable communities to foment racist, violent support for their causes, intimidating those who oppose them.
We also know that there are people all across the nation who remain committed to our democracy,
including those voters in Maine who overwhelmingly voted to abolish super PACs in elections in their state.
With this knowledge, the good and the bad,
Free Speech for People remains committed to its ongoing fight to protect our democracy and our elections for people and not corporations,
and to lift up the promise of political equality for all.
We will continue to demand accountability from elected officials, including the president.
And we will carry on our work to challenge big money in politics and unchecked corporate power,
celebrating every step that moves us closer to an equitable, just, and democratic society.